Hey y'all, how you doing? We're back out here in the garage again, and like you would expect me anywhere else. Just teasing. Okay, uh, getting the crank ready to go in, and I'm doing the Plastigage. I'm down to doing the last one, and I want to check it. Well, I wanted to show you all how to do this. This isn't hard, okay? This really isn't. Now, if you're like fortunate enough, you can have like all of the mics and all of the stuff, you know, to do this job with. But here's what Plastigage looks like when you get it out of the store. You know, of course, it ain't opened up and dirty like this one here is. But you can buy this at like any auto parts store. You usually get the red and the green. There is other sizes available. But you can see I got the crank sitting in here. I've already done all of these. I've already Plastigaged all of these here. And they're all, if you notice, they're all coming up uniform. Yeah, it's very uniform. So here's some I've already laid out here on the number one main. So I've got the main cap. I'm going to get the bolts over there and everything. I've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. Everything's had its final wipe downs and everything like that. I've went ahead and put in the rear main seal back here. I've offset it slightly. So I have done, there is people though that will tell you need to offset them, and then there's people that will tell you you don't have to offset them. I've done it both ways. So it's not like it's, super crucial, critical. Let me get this tilted down here so y'all can see a little bit better. All right, now this is just wax. That Plastigage material is just wax. So you want to be careful when you're doing this. You just want to lay the main cap down on there. You don't want to take a hammer, pow, pow, pow. You just want to lay it down on there. Set it down on there. Take my speed wrench here. I'm going to run the bolts down just a little bit. I've given these bolts a light coat, a very light coat of penetrating oil. Just something to relieve the friction. Okay, that's all. And so now I got that run down. I'm going to torque it. Use my snap-on torque-o-meter. So they torque to 85 foot-pounds. All right, now we're starting. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, there's 85. And there's 85. Okay, I have a clicker type torque wrench. However, I trust this a little bit more. I've built several engines with this, and I've had it checked multiple times. Every time, it's right on the money. So there we go. And what I also like about this, I don't have to unscrew something or screw something in to, once I set it down, that's pretty much it. It's ready to go back in the box. But it's been excellent. It's been absolutely excellent. So now I've torqued this down to 85 foot-pounds, and that's what it calls for in the specs. So I'm now break it loose. And now I'm going to run these out. Speed honestly, speed wrenches are kind of old, very old-fashioned. You might see some people using impacts and all sorts of other things, or a little electric drill kind of things, you know. And I don't like using the impacts. When it comes to doing this, I'm pretty old school. Okay, here we go. You can see right there. I hope you can see that on the camera. There's her mark. Now, all we're going to do here is we're just going to check it. Let me tilt the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, all we're going to do here is we're just going to check it. All right, we've got our clearance is in this book is 5 to 20 thousandths main bearing oil clearance. But now this is a Haynes book, so let's see. But it's an older Haynes book. I've got 3. Yeah, I've got 3. All of these are coming up on 3. So that's some nice uniformity there. So I'm running a little tight on the clearance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another book. I'm going to get a couple more manuals, and I'm going to look at them, and I'm going to check all of that out, and we're going to see what are the specs for, you know, some of the other manuals. Okay? All right. Be right back. Show you some more. Okay, y'all. Been consulting a lot of my manuals, and also went back and I checked my notes. I found out that this engine was running, even with the bearings that came out, the clearances was like, they were pretty tight. They were like 3 when it came out. So, and this engine had like excellent oil pressure and was a running driving engine before I took it apart. So this is not, I don't think this is like a, you know, a deal breaker here. You know, this is not that big of a deal. But I'm going to also be looking online to see what other people have ran into with this. There could be a misprint in several of the manuals. Who knows? Because this could be something that, you know, could be a continual thing with a lot of other engine builders as well. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean off all of the wax from the off these journals from the Plastigage, and it's really easy to do. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm going to just go that extra step. Another thing you want to do, and in regards to your tools, all like your sockets and everything that you're using, you want to go in here and you want to clean this out. All right, so let's say you've been using this same socket like to work on your tractor or something, or maybe a chassis part on a truck or a car or something like that, and you went and, you know, and it was really greasy and dirty and nasty. You know, what you want to do is you want to clean that socket out. You know, just a little brake parts cleaner, maybe an old toothbrush. It just cleans it right up. Okay. Now, why you want to do that, go to all that trouble, is so that you don't put that grit, that dirt, that filth back into this engine on the head bolt, on these, these main cap bolts. So that's just a, you know, neat little tip you need to be paying attention to Now, this engine isn't like it's got to go together right now today and got to get out there on the road and da-da-da-da-da. I've got time to monkey with this. I've got time to see to all the details. Now, some people don't. Some people are like, hey, hurry up, let's get this thing together. Let's go, come on. Uh, that's something you want to try to avoid if at all possible. Because if you don't, you can wind up in a bad situation with your engine. That's really, really bad. You go start slamming stuff together, in a real big hurry, you tend to make you can make a lot of mistakes. So I tend to err on the side of caution when it comes to that. Okay. All right, I'm going to clean up these other main caps, and then I'm going to pull this crank out, and I'm going to clean that wax off these other main bearings, and pull this crank out. I'm going to lubricate everything. I'm going to set the crank back down in there, put the main caps with their lubricant on there, and we're going to start doing the final torque on these. Sorry. I'll pause this and show you a little bit more. Okay, we're back. I've got the bearings lubricated and I got the crank setting back down in there. One thing you want to pay attention to is whenever you're putting the bearings in there, the saddles where the bearing goes in at, they have to be clean. They have to be dry, okay? I've said it before, but it's worth repeating. Clean and dry in those areas. I'm going to go ahead and start with number 5, the rearmost main cap. And I'm going to work my way towards the front. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to is this tang. It needs to be opposite of the tang in the block. Okay, so each one of these bearings is going to have this little piece right there. Yeah, you see, that's going to be on all of them. Okay, for the ones in the block and these here too, the ones that goes in the main caps. Now, you want these on the same side, but they're turned opposite of each other, okay? So, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, this is number 4, okay? This is number 4. It goes right here. Now, if you see the tang right there? Yeah. Now, this one's going to go there, but it's just opposite. See how it's going to be opposite? So, I'm going to set it down on there. And notice I set it down on there. I didn't like hammer it or bang it or something like that. Now, some of you are probably thinking, why not use an impact to drive those bolts down there, or a little electric screwdriver or something like that. A little small electric drill. Reason why is I just don't want to have the dirt from something like that falling into my engine. So now, one quick way to make sure that you're putting these on the Mopar small block LA engines, you're putting these right, is the numbers face this side of the block, which is this is the driver's side. Okay, I know it's upside down and it can be a little bit confusing, but this is the driver's side. This is the passenger side over here. Here's where the oil filter is. So, okay, oil filter on the LA small blocks goes over here, and then this side over here, the starter goes right back here. Okay, so it goes right back in this area. The starter does. So All right, so we're going to carry on. Put all of these in. Now I used a little silicone on my rear main seal back there. And got that, hopefully I got that sealed up really, really well back there. One thing you want to do is you want to lubricate the seal lips so that when the crank goes in there, it's just going to go in there and it's just going to like rotate, and the seal lips will have some lubrication to keep them lubricated a little bit. Back in the very old days, long before I became a mechanic, back when the rope seals were still in use, some mechanics would have these. They would leak a little bit, and as the more you drove them, the less they leaked. You know, so that's a little tidbit to remember. Okay, it's a little tidbit there. Something they used to do, that they would leak a little bit as they were first brand new, and then as they got older, as they got some miles on them, they would leak less and less and less until they stopped leaking completely. So, but for me, I went with a neoprene. Now you notice, just like anything else, starting in the middle, running these bolts down with my speed ratchet. Now you want to do this and pull all the bolts down about as even as you can. You want that cap to be pulled down into the block, into this groove here. You want the cap to be pulled down into these grooves, where these machine grooves, you want it to go down in there and be pulled down in there into a nice, even, gentle pull. You don't want to, come over here with the impact. No, that's not the way you do this. When you're building an engine, give yourself plenty of time to go through all of this. You do not want to rush, because some people get in a rush, and like I said before, they make mistakes, they cut corners, and then it winds up being a mess. Okay, so now start with the torque. I'm going to start in the middle, work my way out. We are still set on 85. Let me check it again. Let's see, that's 100, 95, 90, 85. Yep. Okay. We're still set on 85. I'm going to brace the engine stand here because it's on wheels. I'm just going to take it up to 50 or so. Seat the main cap. Okay. All right. Go. That was number 3, and we'll go to number 4. There we go. There we are. Now, if you notice, I'm not jerking the wrench. I'm slow, even, steady pull. Okay? We don't want to go and yank it. We don't want to jerk it. Okay? We want a nice, even, steady application of torque. And there we are. And there we are again. Go back here to number 5. That was number 2. Okay. Check that real quick. Yep. Okay. Run up here to number 1. Okay. There we go. Now, when you're doing this, you want to give yourself time where you're not being interrupted by a lot of stuff. Okay? You want to make sure that nothing is coming out, nobody's coming out here, hey, I need your help with this, or hey, how you doing? You know, people coming up and talking with you and everything like that. All right, that's that. Now, like I said before, the clearances on these were running a little bit tight. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can spin it over. Let me get out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not having to put a lot of force into that. I've got oil on my hands, and this nose on this crank here is kind of slippery. So I'm really, really happy about this. This is like, oh yeah, I feel really, really good. Really, really good. So, okay, I'm excited now. All right, everything is looking really, really good here. I can't wait to start putting pistons in this thing, and the cam, and the heads, and yeah. So this is great. This is really, really great. I was looking forward to this. And so this is a big step forward. The crank is in. The clearance has been checked. Main caps have been torqued down, lubricated. We're ready to go. All right, so next I'm going to be checking the cylinder bores for the clearances on those, the ring clearances, ring end caps. I'm going to be checking those, and probably be getting connecting rods ready for their bearings, and getting the piston rings on the pistons, and getting all of that ready to go in. So so anyway, God, this is just so great. This is so great. I'm really, really loving this. All right. This is why I love building engines, because I love to see the results of my handiwork. Okay? Sure, I could go somewhere, I could buy this, I could have this done by somebody or whatever, you know? But for me, I lose some of that, I don't know, personality maybe, or just, I just really enjoy doing this. And, you know, there's some of y'all that don't, and hey, that's cool. But some of y'all might. And I hope you get something out of this. So, anyway. All right. I'm going to end this video because it's pretty long and I'm blabbering anyway. So, I really do appreciate you watching. The channel is growing, and I'm just like, it's like blowing my mind. But I want to thank you all you new subscribers, and all the old subscribers too. I want to thank you all for that, for subscribing. So I really, heartfelt thanks. Oh, I did not double check. Let's go through and double check real quick. So, let's see. We'll start back here. Yep. 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 Click. Click, click. Click, click. I know. It's not a clicker. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. So this is great. All right. So anyway, I thank you all very, very much for watching, and I do appreciate everything, all the comments and everything like that. So thank you very much, and you all have a great day, and God bless, and I do mean that.